Hall of Fame, guys. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Which part is the Hall of Fame? Hall of Fame.
Oh, here we go, boys.
It's
Monster Jam fans here in Orlando and those
Yes, let's go. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
welcome to the inaugural Monster Jam Hall of Fame ceremony. Tonight we are proud to celebrate two
Everyone, look at my
extraordinary
stream.
people whose incredible achievements have shaped the
Hey,
past, present, and future of Monster
Hey,
Jam. Tonight we begin tonight's ceremonies where both of our inductees in familiar roles. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Monster Jam Hall of Fame inductee, Scott Douglas.
Here we go. Scott.
Thanks, Kay. It is a tremendous honor to be here to kick off the inaugural Monster Jam Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and it's a tremendous honor to do it by making this special introduction. An introduction of a man who has won so many racing competitions right here in Orlando and has turned in some of his most spectacular freestyle performances right here on the floor behind me. Monster Jam fans, please direct your attention to the entrance to the track here at Camping World Stadium as he takes one more lap around the stadium.
What the hell?
Oh, guys, look it.
Please welcome the first inductee.
Here we go.
Monster Jam Hall
Yes,
of
he's
Fame.
gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Gravedigger's Dennis Anderson.
What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Oh, dude, they did it. Dude,
It's Dennis Anderson!
Oh my God.
it's Dennis Anderson. Yes, it's Dennis.
Holy crap!
Yes, it's Dennis.
What?
It's Dennis. Yes, Dennis. That's Dennis Anderson.
How do we still have a truck?
Dennis. Dennis.
I need my overclock evolution. How does he have a digger?
Oh my god! No!
It's Dennis.
Monster Jam has gone over the top. Now he has a digger. Are you dead serious? Wow, bro.
Come on, hit a jump. Hit a jump.
Get it!
There it is. It says Dennis Anderson.
Joe, get your truck.
That's Dennis Anderson. There he is.
Dennis is right there! Oh my god! Yeah, we can see him!
His butt cheek is hanging out. Somebody taking a screenshot of that. It's not letting me in. The truck is not letting me in.
He literally just started. Yes, me.
Monster Jam fans, let's hear it for your inaugural Monster Jam Hall of Fame inductees, Dennis Anderson and Scott Douglas.
Nice.
And now as we begin our induction ceremonies, please direct your attention to the video board.
Oh.
Is this video board?
3 decades and counting.
Oh,
It's the World Finals 1, bro!
We have
that's World
World
Finals
Finals
3. That's World Finals 3. There he is.
Oh, the old school Gravedigger! Gunslinger! Avenger, bro!
Their mighty
Is
machine
that, wait, Blue Thunder!
pushing the limits. Atop earthen mounds of invention.
Alright, okay, Fear, I'll suggest the best way to do this is to tell them to line up.
One.
Tell them to line up.
That's
Tell everybody to line up.
These
Tell
pioneers,
everybody to line up.
these icons, have dedicated their lives to the sport. Extraordinary men and women who shaped Monster Jam into a phenomenon of
Sudden impact and John C-Shot.
At last, their feats, their triumphs,
First ever backflip.
their histories.
Did you see Thomas
Jay.
when he threw his?
Thomas
where courage, ingenuity, and excellence are realized
Oh my god, I'm
and
gonna lose my
rewarded.
voice, bro.
A place where legends and heroes
Dude,
Yo,
this is
Jimmy
Hall of
Credence!
Fame.
live
my
on
favorite.
forever. The Monster Jam.
No!
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Boys!
Again, a big welcome to the Monster Jam fans here in Orlando and those tuning in across the country and around the world,
Houston,
streaming
dude.
live. For
Oh my
nearly 30
God.
years, Monster Jam has been top
I
of the
would've gone to the
motorsports
show,
world. Millions of fans worldwide have
We went to
enjoyed
the early
world's
show.
best driver athletes compete at the highest level and witness the amazing technology revolution that gives Monster Jam trucks its superpower that defies physics and soar to unimaginable heights.
I
The
just say
Monster Jam
everybody
Hall of Fame
who's
recognizes those
who's
individuals who have heart,
Vader and what a
passion,
stage.
dedication, have left lasting remarks on our sport, and those who contributions have also continually redefined what Monster Jam is, what it was, and what it will be forever.
I need my
We're
outro
so
logo.
privileged to spend the evening with the first two inductees, their families, and distinguished guests in a celebration of achievement. Tonight, we honor Dennis Anderson, the icon, the creator of the Gravedigger Monster Jam truck, a four-time World Finals champion, and the driver widely regarded of developing the freestyle competition as it's known today. We also honor Scott Douglas, the voice of Monster Jam, a live event and television host whose knowledge, passion, and ambassadorship have entertained and informed millions. It is my pleasure to introduce to the stage
Are we on staying
Adam,
for red
Ryan,
style?
and Kristen Anderson.
Let's go.
Stadium.
Let's go, my guy. Kristen, say poggers. Kristen, say
There are many
poggers.
great
Say poggers,
qualities
say
that
poggers.
I
I'm just
love
kidding.
about my
Say
dad,
poggers, say
but
poggers,
my
say
favorite
poggers.
quality of his is how wholeheartedly he believes
Say
in himself.
poggers.
I have yet to meet another person in the whole world that believes in themselves and their
She
ideas
looks like a different
as hard
person.
as Dennis Anderson does. And as much as
She
those
does.
big ideas and aspirations have pushed this family
Yo,
and
Ray!
insanity
He
to
lost
its
a lot
limit
of
at
weight.
times, I admire his courage.
Look at
he has
Adam. Adam
to
lost
take
a lot
those
of
risks.
weight.
And
Adam,
I
you
wish
think so?
I inherited
Lots
more
of weight.
of
Adam
that fierce
definitely
He eats
confidence
too much
of his,
burgers.
truly.
Hey, Dicker, take a picture of
People
There he
Dennis.
is,
Take a picture
Dennis
of him.
Dyke.
believing in themselves. And
Take a
look what
picture of
happened when my dad
Dennis.
did.
Picture,
My dad
picture, picture,
created this
picture.
crazy lifestyle for all of us,
Take a
and he
picture
has
of it.
become a hero to
Send it.
millions of people along the way. And I know he's my hero. So to me, there is no better person to be inducted into the Hall of Fame than my dad.
There's no doubt this is an emotional event for us as the Andersons because this is our lives. Every day of our life from day one.
Oh my
Adam
God.
grew up with a crib in the hauling rig for Gravedigger that was made from a school bus. But one of my favorite stories about Dad, one of the things that shaped Monster Jam to be what it is, was my dad's truck could barely hold together. He could barely afford to get to the events. He actually spent 100% of his money just to get to this event where he broke down immediately. He didn't want to disappoint his fans. He didn't want to disappoint anybody that supported Gravedigger, and he also needed to get home. He won no money. He was totally broke, so he asked the promoter, he said, can I take my truck out here and do something crazy with it just for my fans? I want my fans to love me and buy my t-shirts and support me so I can get home. And that's just what he did. He did what was the first ever Monster Jam freestyle. He went out there hitting things backwards, doing crazy stuff that's never been seen before,
My outro
and
logo.
created the biggest, baddest thing in the world. I don't care where you go, what you see, you don't get action like you get at Monster Jam, and that's because my dad, Dennis Anderson, the creator of Gravedigger, the creator of all of us, the creator of Son of a Digger, all the good stuff. Dennis Anderson, the baddest dude to ever live, ever get in a Monster Jam truck, period. Thank you, Monster Jam fans.
Here goes Adam.
You know, we talk about all the things that was done off of the track.
There's
And all that was
Dennis
done for
little
every one of you
broken, that's
guys.
nice.
He pushed and strived to make sure the fans were happy. Sometimes we weren't, but that was okay with Dad. Because the Monster Jam fans, which became part of our family, they were happy with what happened on the track with him and off. But for now, I want everybody to take their attention to the video screen and see those reasons why.
Here we go.
Dennis Anderson to me is a guy that everyone.
Oh!
He's the guy that
Oh!
put the freestyle in freestyle.
He's the innovator, you know, he's the creator of Gravedigger and so many of the elements that we see in our sport today.
Oh!
He crashed out more than anybody else in the world. That's a guarantee. I don't even have to look it up. He would crash out because he knew that's what the fans wanted to see.
He developed the standard for loving and respecting the fans, and the fans loving and respecting him in return, which created a really, really deep connection between him and the millions of Gravedigger fans worldwide.
Without him, what would we be doing right now? I have no idea.
There wouldn't be
Where would
Monster.
we be?
It wouldn't be Monster Jam.
Dennis Anderson is the top of the top. He's
Oh,
done
that's
this
a
for
Duke.
wonders,
That's a
and
Duke.
I'm stoked for him for sure.
When I was his crew chief, it really meant a lot to me.
Oh,
He stood behind me 100%. I'm just so proud of him.
Dustin
getting this
Brown,
honor.
a
Dustin
class.
Brown, bro. A classic, bro. I remember Dustin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Anderson.
Scott?
It's Vegas style. This map is Vegas style. It's like Vegas. It's Vegas. Yeah, it's Vegas style.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in the back. Go in the back. It's Vegas
It's probably
style.
the best ring I've gotten, man, since the FFA back
Tell
when I was
everybody.
in high school. It was the only ring I ever got in my life, other than a wedding ring. And this baby right here is juicy. It is awesome. And I just want to thank you guys.
No crap,
You know,
bro.
from my family to my fans.
I was really hungry, sir.
It's been quite a journey.
I saw you when you retired. I was at the World Finals.
This far, this long, and be an all-American guy playing trucks all of my life, all of my adult life, man. And I just gotta say, man, that, you know, these guys right here, I honestly didn't think that they would even follow my footsteps.
I need my Ultra Loco.
I was out playing trucks, making everybody else's kids happy. My kids were home playing soccer, school plays. I missed it all. I wasn't there, and I just figured, especially this guy, the oldest one, he was going to smarten up and say, I'm not going to be like the old man. He's never home. And I was always dedicated to that truck. Home playing soccer, school plays. I missed it all. I wasn't there, and I just figured, especially this guy, the oldest one, he was going to smarten up and say, I'm not going to be like the old man. He's never home. And I was always dedicated to that truck. And for some reason, I always had more patience with my fans than I did with my family. But, you know, that's not a bad thing. I learned a lot. I taught these guys a lot.
Way, get out of my way.
And I got to tell you, man, you never know what life is going to bring you. You
Over
got to
to
step it
Volusia.
out. You got to take chances in life, take a risk, put it all on the line. And I did. And here I am, almost 40 years later, standing trackside, watching my family carry on a legacy. I'm not done. It's one of those moments in life. It only comes one time. And I got to tell you guys, it's a very proud moment. And I did not do this by myself. You guys were a big part of success for Gravedigger, Dennis Anderson, Monster Jam. You guys are the pioneers of tailgating party for Monster Jam, and it happened right here in Orlando. There's so many good memories here, and I got a few bad ones. But I got to tell you, man, in my book, I've marked this in my book back in the mid-90s. Florida was the #1 fan base for Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger. Orlando has always been Gravedigger's house. I don't care how many times Tom Mintz beat me or tried to beat me. This was still my house, Tom. But man, I got to tell you guys, I'm not done. I have grandkids. I have a younger son that a lot of you people don't even know, Weston Anderson. He is a new up-and-coming superstar. I am proud of my whole family. My daughter, I never thought would ever drive a truck. And we miss her at the dungeon and at the diner. So whenever she wants to stop playing trucks and come home, that would be very helpful.
I love you, sweetheart. I love all of you guys. And I want to thank y'all for every nut and bolt on my truck and every shingle on my roof. Orlando, Monster Jam is here to stay.
Congratulations to you,
I think my
Dennis.
times are up. We need to move on. We have a show to do and a few other things. But like I said, this only happens one time, so I'm going to burn it down. Freestyle is on the way, so I'm going to let somebody else talk for a while. Love you guys. Thank you very much.
Once again, congratulations to you, Dennis, on the behalf of your millions of fans worldwide. Congratulations on this historic induction to the Monster Jam Hall of Fame.
He's already spoken all the memorable words. Many people think that Scott's greatest attribute and his biggest contribution to Monster Jam has been his unmistakable booming voice. No matter where you were or when you heard it, you knew it was time for Monster Jam. It's truly unforgettable. But in reality, his greatest attribute is his selflessness. He shared his wealth of knowledge with every host that has ever held a microphone in Monster Jam. He's helped every driver, whether up and coming or a wily veteran, tell their own unique story in the best way possible. Throughout the years, he's been able to make the light shine a little brighter on those he's worked with. And while the time on this mic is limited now, just know that every time you hear the live call from the host at Monster Jam, or listen to the play-by-play host call the action on TV, you're still hearing the voice of the legend living on through those with whom he has selflessly shared his knowledge.
The voice of Monster Jam.
The voice of Monster Jam.
Welcome to Sam Boyd Stadium. I'm Scott Douglas. Momentum at the end. Are you kidding me?
Scott Douglas to me is an icon, a legend, the greatest of all time. When it comes to Monster Jam announcers, there was nobody better than Scott.
Oh, no, he did. No, he did. Did you see that?
So when I think of Monster Jam, yeah, of course I think of all the incredible drivers that we've had over the years, but for me, when I think of Monster Jams, I think of Scott Douglas.
Scott Douglas is a sharp man on his game. He is a walking encyclopedia of Monster Jam knowledge. And he knows so much about it because he's lived it. He was there.
Absolutely unbelievable, off the charts.
He's literally lived our entire legacy and our entire history on the front lines by telling the world what's going on.
Scott Douglas belongs in the Hall of Fame because when you hear his voice,
the place is standing.
You associate that immediately with Monster Jam.
It is now my privilege to present to you your Hall of Fame inductee, the voice of Monster Jam, Scott Douglas.
Like Dennis said, wow. That is beautiful. And you gonna look at that, man. The Monster Jam Hall of Fame. Just those words. When I heard them a little over a year ago that there was going to be a Monster Jam Hall of Fame created, I was so excited. There's so much history over this quarter century, so many people who have contributed so much and who are going to deserve and who someday will be standing in this spot to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. And I was excited. I never dreamed that I'd be standing here in the inaugural Hall of Fame class next to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dennis Anderson. This is, without question, the highest honor of my professional career, and I'm just so thankful right now to everybody. And I'm just take a minute. I know we got show to get to, and I want to the event. I want to see it too, but I do want to thank a few people who I wouldn't be standing here without. You know, the kid who, well, I wasn't a kid, but I was still pretty young in my career. In 1988. At Louisville Motor Speedway on that famous monster truck figure 8 track. And the first time I saw these trucks, I knew they were special, and I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And God has blessed me for more than 30 years by being able to do just that. Take this journey with you fans, with the most incredible athletes that you'll ever meet, and an unbelievable team that a lot of you never see and you never know about. So I'm just going to take a minute to thank them. And that starts with everybody in Monster Jam, at Feld Entertainment, the Feld family, all the executives and the directors, but everybody who works for that company and works tirelessly, and I mean everybody. I can't mention them all, but whether it's a tech official, an event manager, the people in the office, everybody pulls together to make sure that you fans get the greatest world-class motorsport and entertainment all rolled into one package. So I thank everybody I've ever worked with and who's been a part of it. I want to give a special thanks, though, to a couple of groups that have made a big impact on my career. All of the producers and editors and videographers and everybody who's involved with putting together the Monster Jam television shows that I've been a part of. I've been proud of every one of them. I've worked with some amazing and talented professionals. And in the live event world, it's the AV team. Those voices in my ears that always keep us on point, making sure you fans know what's happening, what's special, and what's spectacular about watching these Monster Jam trucks. I couldn't be here without my family. Two of my daughters, Blair and Lindsay, are here. The rest of the family is watching on the live stream. Thanks, Feld, for putting it up and letting everybody see it. But, you know, you can't do something like this without a great family. And Roxanne and my daughters and my grandchildren have done nothing but support me for 3 weeks in South Africa or going to Japan or China on this amazing and wild journey. And I can't do without them and love my family dearly. To the Monster Jam hosts, everyone that I've worked with over the years, it's been an honor. So many great professionals, both on TV and in live events. And then in recent years, the ones I've had the opportunity to work with in a training capacity. Greg Whitaker's here tonight. It's such an honor. Greg and I have worked side by side with Jessica Ferris and others to search the country, auditioning, casting, and training. And what we're trying to do, and what we have been able to do, is find world-class talent and convince them they want to be a part of taking Monster Jam to the next level. And I hope every one of those hosts sees me standing here and realizes what an impact the host on the announcer, the person who is telling the fans why this event is so special and why these folks are so special is. So I hope it inspires all of you. A big thanks to every driver I've ever worked with and every crew chief. I watched your passion. I watched how hard you worked to continue the event, and that made me work harder. But last but certainly not least, my biggest thanks goes to the Monster Jam fans. Obviously, we're not here without all of you, but it's more than that. Other sports have fans. They don't have Monster Jam fans. The most dedicated, passionate, loving fans, and we become family. You know, there's so many special fans. I know some who are special to me. The Mumpower family, and Jackie and Jacob flew down here from Virginia. You see my Monster Jam tie. Only two of us I know have this because Jacob made him, gave me one. He has the other. That's the kind of fans we have in Monster Jam, and that's the kind of fans that always drove me to want to make the experience special for you. And now what I want to do is go ahead and get out of the way, because I know about you. I'm looking for an epic freestyle, and I want to see some serious elevation, Holmes. You got that? So let me just wrap it up by saying one more thing. An epic freestyle is coming up. My final words to you. Orlando, who's ready for Monster Jam?
Scott, congratulations on this incredible achievement. Monster Jam fans, it is my great honor to present to the world the inaugural class of Monster Jam's Hall of Fame, Dennis Anderson and Scott Douglas.